So, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself.
Well, what can I say? Hello, I'm Jeansowaty. My real name is Alexander, and I'm 20 years old, and I've just been in the Mario Forever community for quite a few years, quite many, I would say. I started playing Mario Forever when I was a little child. I'm from Poland, so I know Michał Gdaniec as well. I got him in my friends list on Facebook, so well, that's me.
All right. So, the first question will be when and how did you learn about Mario Forever?
I think it was 2005 or so. I think I was a little kid at the time and had a Polish Famicom clone. You know, the keyboard type, like type of console. My cousin gave it to me in 2004. Like that was the first time I ever came across Mario. Well, Super Mario Bros. To be specific. Later, I also had a cartridge with the arcade Mario Bros. But it felt so different. You know, it was a different game. But I enjoyed both of them. Like Super Mario Bros. Was especially very nostalgic because I knew the first levels by heart. Because you know the cartridge had something like the first levels. You could just select them, right? And I had them problems with later ones. For example, I couldn't go past 8-2, and these were the good days, really. Not gonna lie. But okay, that's enough of topic about Mario. Like what I want to say is the very same cousin showed me Mario Forever at this place, and it was like, you know this game very well. Take a look, and it's so at this version, and here I was looking at the intro, Bowser destroying the Mushroom Kingdom, like tanks and everything,
Yeah.
and pretty much. Then we went on to play the game, and I remember the first world and everything, how it looked so different but so similar to Super Mario Bros. At the same time. It felt so refreshing and everything like. And I remember there was 2-1 and the beetroot. It felt so different, weird. Like I don't know, it was pretty interesting to see all these new gimmicks and stuff. Remember 2-4 not being a castle and 2-5 being the castle also felt pretty refreshing. So really liked it. And then gotta say, like it was also pretty cool that the game was in Polish. Like I'm Polish as well, so it felt kind of cool to see it being in the very same language. Like at the time, of course, I was 5, so I couldn't speak any other language, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
I
actually
think,
really cool.
yeah, like then I learned that it's a game made by Polish people, and I was like, wow, it's fascinating. I think it was the first version like that we could get actually, this 1.16.1, something like that. I will also remember that I once seen him playing World 8 and what you know, castles and tanks, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And I didn't get my computer until 2009, but my cousin gave me Mario Forever on it when I got it. And I remember beforehand he also showed me version 4.0, I think in 2008. And I remember Human Laboratory, the Lost Map, all of that. It just felt so surreal. I fell in love with the clones and stuff. I was making hundreds of drawings with them, like so nostalgic, and that's how much it got me. I remember he gave me 1.16, like that version, and I was kind of disappointed by that, but nevertheless I played it. I couldn't go past World 2, but I remember later on some friend of mine with whom I was making these clones, like we both were fascinated by them, so he gave me version 4.4, and that's where I played the game for good. I think it was 2010, something like that. Time flies, but when you're a kid, everything felt so slow, everything is so nostalgic at this point. I remember World 2 was often pissing me off, but World 3 was very easy. World 4, especially for -2, was very hard. 5 was easy, and World 6 I still think is the hardest world in the game, like of the main worlds. 7 was pretty easy as well, but 8 could be pretty tough, especially the tower stage. 8-3, right?
Yeah, that's pretty tough. And
Yep.
actually, about the clone drawings, do you think you still have some of them to show?
Yeah,
So,
I do, but not gonna lie, many of them are pretty, you know, I was a little kid by that time, so of course I can send you over some of them so you can show them, but I'll probably pick out the best ones, I think. Some of them were really ridiculous. So like, for example, I just made the mutant, and I just made him, like, I added a third head, and I just called it that mutant has 3 heads right now, something like that, right?
Alright, cool.
Like I wasn't even thinking of making them enemies or anything like that. I just wanted to make custom characters, I guess. You know, childhood fantasies and stuff. So.
Yeah, actually, some other guys actually did pick up on this idea to make custom clones as well, just like you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about this later on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick this topic once more, somewhat later.
So, what were you mostly known about, and did that impact your life in any way?
Well, it's a bit of a hard question. Like in general, I'm not the type of guy who likes to be the center of attention, so I tended to go in hiding quite often, especially during the Mario Forever boom, as I call it, in the early 2010s, like 2013, 14, when people got hold of Sysix Solon's engines. Like, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name correctly, but you know, the thing is, like, people got these engines, made many worlds, levels, and I just kind of disappeared at the time. I was really shocked at the quality of some of them, but nevertheless, when I think of it, my story in the Mario Forever community always brings a huge smile on my face. Like, for a guy who has huge problems with thinking of the good sides of life, this one always cheers me up, always. Like, how did it start in the first place? Well, I was making some woozy levels in Mario Worker that I got with Mario Forever 4.4, like the one I told you about. And I remember I didn't even know how to resize the level. Like, I just took the basic size. It was very short. And I remember I was also watching other YouTubers, like among them my good old friend Mario Variable. And I remember he was making his letter worlds in Mario Worker 1.0, which I found them really good. And I asked him to make more of them because I think he stopped at World C. And under my request, he made World D and then E. I really like these levels; they were very good. And now, behold, he started experimenting with multimedia fusion. I remember when I saw World F for the first time, the kid in me went crazy. I was so hyped. Like, the potential. You could have a brand new Mario Forever sequel without limitations. You could change backgrounds, add the text of the level, and you could just do everything what you wanted, right? I was very keen on it. And then I remember Mario Forever 6.0 came along. I think it's one of the most famous versions. And it had its own rendition of World 9, and people were so shocked, and so was I. But because, I was actually making my own World 9, which I still consider more canon than the one that was packed together with 6.0. But then again, Sysix Holon and Soik 2, I think, was his name.
Yeah, Soik 2.
Yeah, the one who he uploaded the video of the original World 9 without some those changes. Like, they stepped in and they told us their story about how this world came to be, and they shared their original version. It was in separated zip files, I think. Then from that point on, it just butterflied on. Sysix and MV just started working together on Mario Forever Remake. They got much more experience. Me and my friend Rock537 were sometimes helping them out with translations or stuff. And I, in turn, was mostly working with Redol999, yeah, kind of hilarious name, on his engine. Like, he was making the Mario Forever engine. It was pretty inaccurate, but I just helped him out a lot. Many enemies later were featured in other Mario Forever creations, and many of them that were featured later on were mine and his ideas, actually, especially the clones. They were mostly my ideas. Like, you remember the Green Jaws clone that you can find in various games, or the Golden Knight? Like, they were all my childhood ideas, all of them.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah, I kind of find it funny how I somehow initiated all of that. I started it, right? Kind of, as I said, it always brings a huge smile to my face. And in short, if I hadn't asked MV to make more letter worlds, then I don't know if the Mario Forever community will look the same as it does right now. I remember he credited me for, in the letter world series, in the credits, that I kind of impacted the whole series in a way to be continued. So you don't know how wholesome I just felt. Like, my heart was melting.
Yeah, cool. Alright, so number 3 is, do you still follow the MF community? And if so, where are you at right now?
What can I say? I still do from time to time check the community out. Like, I hang around some servers and stuff. Like, my interest sometimes wanes and sometimes comes back. Like, I remember, especially 2017 was a good year for my Mario Forever works. I remember I met Boris Paovic from Serbia. He's also known as Player Guy. And together with him and my old buddy Rock537, we made a lot of cool stuff for Mario Forever The Lost Levels. That was also the year when I made the Clones Tower secret level for MV. I remember it was kind of funny because it was a dream, actually, that I made this level. I saw the level in a dream. Many clones from that Dream were also featured in the level. And I remember at the end I asked MV to feature the level in Mario Forever Remake, and the dream came true. I'm really happy about it. And nowadays I mostly just hang around the Mario Forever team server, and I just spectate what the people are doing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some things that do get a bit old in my opinion, like, personally dislike seeing Bowser being degraded to a regular enemy, and he has just different colors, variations, so I think a new boss is always welcome. And I especially also like Mario Forever worlds that fit the original Mario Forever style neatly, so MV's and Chris's works are some of my definite favorites, I would say.
Yeah, actually, many adore the actually staying near and true to the original MF style.
Yeah, exactly. And I also like how many of the more ambitious fan games also have a story, so that's always something good as well, because when you just get a bunch of levels thrown together and Bowser at the end, nothing new, then it just kind of gets old, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I agree. So, do you have something in plans regarding Mario Forever in future?
Yep, I do. Most definitely I do. Like, you probably remember that Lucy thing that I was doing in Redall's Engine, yeah?
Yeah.
Mario Forever The Lost Levels. You may not believe or not, but it's still alive. It still exists. It's breathing, but it's sick with COVID, so to say, but it's alive. I'm just joking, but the game is taking a lot of time because we spent many months not doing anything on it. Like me and Rock, we're like, let's do this, but then we're like, nah, I don't feel doing this. I don't feel doing this at this day. I think we will do something else the other day. And plus, the game is also running on old sticky edges, which aren't the easiest to polish. Yeah, I know it's a bit funny coming from a Polish guy, but either way, the project started in 2013, I think. The bulk of the game is done, the main worlds, that is. World D is a bit of a pitch to do, I'm not gonna lie, but it's the last world, so especially in 2020, it's really difficult to make something new when people are so damn creative. It's not easy to compete, like people have been making so many brilliant fan games. I often just take my time to look at them for inspiration, but of course I never dare to rip them off or anything. Seeing other people being successful fills me with some motivation to finish this thing off at the end. I'm also planning a small series with Rock and maybe Player Guy if he ever wants to join us in this. We're gonna call it the World Expansion Series. Basically levels after the last level of each world. So, for example, levels from 1-5 to 1-8, 2-6 to 2-8, stuff like that. And then we are planning a huge combo game featuring these worlds, normal Mario Forever worlds, and the main Mario Forever Lost Levels worlds. Like, we kind of would like to turn this series into something like MV did with his letter worlds, and Chris did with his minus worlds, so the Polish letter worlds. And we are having much better engines nowadays too, thanks to Mario Variable. So Mario Forever Lost Levels will get a proper release, but when, sadly have no clue. But it will, most definitely. It may not be too special, but yeah, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I wish good luck with that release, actually. That's all I want to say.
Thanks a lot, thanks. Like, really, I kind of regret that we did not put more work into it earlier on so we could already have it released, but that's just life. Nothing we could do about. Like, I remember one time I had a really, really good streak. I was making many levels for World B and stuff, and then I had a bit of a personal tragedy, and I just left the game again for a few months, and it just continued like that. When I had something horrible happen, then Rock had something horrible happen to him, and it just, kept being delayed and delayed. The game itself may not be too special right now, but Gdanets himself said, I talked to him and he said he will market it as the official Mario Forever sequel, so there's that at least, right? So it kind of makes me feel that we are trying to do something epic, so we gotta put in more work into it, right?
Yeah, I also like how it is only you, Rock, and Radel all the time.
Radel doesn't help us with it at all, like, not anymore. Like, I don't even keep in touch with him that much. He was just, helping me with the engines at first, but then I kind of, he just went to do his own games and stuff, and I went on to make my own, and it's mostly just me and Rock doing it, but sometimes Boris, Player Guy, he also helps out. He also made some great levels, but, he sometimes tends to disappear and lose motivation, so I understand him perfectly.
Yeah, okay,
so.
alright. So, And the last question will be like, what was your first MF fan creation you saw, and which one was favorite from everyone, from like every single fan game?
Hmm. I think the first Mario Forever fan creation I played was, yeah, I think it was Mario Rabel's World F. I still have the old MFA of it lying around in my files. Yeah, I remember it was buggy alright, but I loved it anyway. It was a breakthrough. His later worlds remained as one of my favorites to this day. It's just, they fit so neatly into the original Mario Forever style, and they also have some unique elements. I don't know how he does it, but I remember seeing World Y, like World Epsilon, whatever, however you call it, the second to last one, right? That was released a year ago. I think that one is like my favorite of them all. Like, it feels so vanilla, as if it was a normal Mario Forever world from 1.16.1. And actually, that's something pretty curious that I think about Mario Forever. When I was making Super Mario Bros. ROM hacks, the level design was quite easier to do. It was simpler. Like, you don't have many options to choose the backgrounds and stuff. And in Mario Forever, that's not the case. You have to put in a lot of work into making a good-looking level, so you don't end up with a mess like, so sorry to say, but some of the games from 2013, 14, which I think could be great. They would have to be deeply polished, you know. They are pretty inspiring. They had a lot of potential when you think of what they could be, but sadly weren't. But and overall, I think in making Mario Forever games, I think the most important thing is creating a dense atmosphere. Like, that's what makes Mario Forever so unique and nostalgic for me. Like I said, I remember playing it at my cousin's place at first, so whenever I was going to his place, visiting all the villages on the way, and whenever I go through them again, I also get nostalgic for my childhood, and I was just going to my cousin, and then I was playing Mario Forever at his place, right? So that's what makes Mario Forever so cool to me, because the atmosphere is so thick that you can just slice it with a knife and spread on bread, so to say. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me just cut the off topic a bit, because I'm just deviating too much from the main question. Like, other personal favorites of mine, I guess, are 2233 was his name, Mario 2233, like that German friend of mine. And his works are really great. Like, I especially remember when I saw the H series, like Daniel recorded them, I was like, wow, he made a lot of progress. These levels look really freaking great. Like, wow, they were so unique and well done, really. And I remember also Player Guys on released levels. Like, I always call him that he's the master of the Mario Forever atmosphere. That's always the way I call him. He makes really great levels, but sadly he hasn't released much works. But I know that he's cooking something really great, but God knows when it's going to be released, just like Forever the Lost Levels, right? There's also Chris, whose works, like, I think I even like the Polish Letter Worlds a bit more than the Minus Worlds. Like, both of them are really top-notch, I like them all, but I just love how the early Polish Letter World, like how the Polish Letter Worlds and stuff, they just go so well with Mario Forever's, Mario Vrabel's Letter Worlds. Like, for example, World A is in MV's levels, just, normal grassland, and World O from Chris, it's like a combination of a grassland and water, and World B by Mario Vrabel is just mostly water, right? So I just love how they connect so well. There's also that Vietnamese guy, Jose, or, he just has this long-ass name, can't pronounce it, but I think his works are really well done. They're pretty mapish as well, so the Inversive Worlds, the non-Vietnamese letter series and stuff, I really like these levels as well, so they're really well done. And of course, I could never forget about Rock 537's World of Tanks, like, it also comes to my mind, but the guy is very creative, but just like me, he hasn't released really much. But I gotta say that I don't think that anyone's graphics skills could be matched with his. He's the real deal. He makes he can capture the Mario Forever vibe so well. Like, I don't know. He's very, very skilled with Photoshop, RealDraw Pro, Paint.net. He really makes great graphics. I don't think that he can be compared to anyone else.
Well, that's actually interesting. And I think, like, we're done.
Actually, could I possibly say, like, some sort of annex to the whole thing? Could I just say a few last final sentences, so to say?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks. Like, overall, I just want to thank you for inviting me for this interview. Like, I would never expected it that you would invite me for this. I had a lot of fun answering these questions, and in a way, kind of brought me back to the past. Like, I just got this thought that how much Mario Forever has influenced me in my life. I probably wouldn't be such a huge fan of techno trance music. I can feel so much Mario Forever influence when I make music as well. Like that Tracker Megamix song that I made a year ago. It's practically one gigantic tribute to Mario Forever. Like I ripped samples out of Mario Forever itself, and just love doing that. And the clones, oh the clones! Like thank you, Gdanets, for making Human Lab. Like my childhood wouldn't have been the same without it. And well, thanks Looper for letting me share something. I deeply appreciate it, and wish you a nice day, I guess, right?
Thank you, and I also thank you for actually joining this interview with me. And I'll see you later.
Thanks. You too. Keep in touch.
Yeah.
See you around.
Have a nice day.